Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka Be Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend. Happy Monday, y'all! Yes, we're talking about reality with Jerry McShann and I. So you know what to do. Grab your beverage. Let go. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm leaking over here, but I'm
Oh,
well.
okay. Ashley Darby over there.
Wait a minute. No, my mug is completely filled to the brim and is spilling over. So,
Yes,
nonetheless,
the
we're just
flow.
gonna sip slowly and responsibly.
Yes.
How's your Monday?
My Monday is going well, a little busy day, but it's going well, and I'm happy here. We're at the highlight of my Monday, the highlight of my week. So I'm super excited to be here.
Well, the feeling is mutual, and I will just say, I just got back from FAMU's homecoming.
What? Wow, how was that?
Sorry. It was good. I went to
Really?
I'm so tired. I went to a PWI. I went to Georgia State. So I was not familiar with experiencing all that blackness that exists. And
And
so obviously I went for work and did some really great work initiatives. And just, I took in the sights of all that good old melanin magic, black
hot
excellence,
and
all them sororities and fraternities, the fraternities.
so I'm asking for you because I saw you was dressed as Marie Antoinette. So did you let them have cake while you were there?
Did you see my Halloween post?
I saw it. I was wanting you to bring it here today.
Sorry. First of all, it was not Marie Antoinette, it was Queen Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
And Queen Charlotte has been put up until next year or until she comes back out again. But I was really inspired by Bridgerton because in Bridgerton, Queen Charlotte was black, and I had to do some research. And did you know the real Queen Charlotte had roots and ancestry by the Moors? And if you do a little bit more history digging, the Moors are African and Arab descent. So in my book, Queen Charlotte was black, y'all. So I said I wanted to bring Queen Charlotte to life, and so I did a lot of Halloween looks this October, more than I normally do in the past, and it wore me out. But
And you was giving it all to me. I was like, yes.
thanks, Jeremy McShann.
Yes.
And to think you saw all that good Halloween goodness without your glasses on.
I saw them, y'all. But listen, I do. Hey, Anderson. I do have my glasses. They finally came in the mail after last week's show, so I am good to go. But I don't need them because I can see today. I can see today.
Can you see?
I'm at the computer. Y'all ain't gonna get this today. Okay.
Listen, can you see all the shade from this week's episodes and this week's television show?
Yes, we have to talk about it because Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was so good, and it opens up talking with Crystal, who's talking about her time that's been on the show, and really, she talks about how she's been getting really cyberbullied for people in her DMs, and I've follow her, so I see a lot of times she'll post some of the stuff that people are saying, and they were like, one of the things was like, your people are the reason why all these people have died, and I can't believe you're on this TV show. Why don't you read the room? And it's just like, what in the world? It was like just that level of stuff, and so interesting because being a little removed from like the Stop Asian Hate, I don't really see a lot of that directly, but I kind of feel like it like doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And we should support it, kind of like how Black people are like racism, and white people are like, what are you talking about? But it's just like, we don't have to see it to know that it exists. That people are saying that this is existing, and this is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy.
Can I also layer in, being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, I think we also see it within the community as well. Oftentimes people will say, like on dating apps, no fats, no femmes, no Asians. And that's a clear example of, Asian hate. So I can appreciate the vulnerability. I did not realize people were trolling Crystal like that.
That's crazy. That's
And
so.
I say that again.
But it's insane. I can't believe people were doing that.
And that's some unmitigated gall of it all type of ish, right? Because the fact that you could creep up into somebody who you don't even know and label and say things like that is just ridiculous and disgusting. But I'm gonna also tell you that last president gave people a lot more liberties and the courage to do things out in the open and behind the computer screen because there's no fear of repercussion, unlike if it was any other ethnicity trolling. And I'm not just saying it was only white people trolling, but I find that during this last 4 years that we had with that 45 as a president, we saw a lot of hate coming from white conservative Americans, right? Trying to call it all things except love. So,
and listen, that's why I want Mark Zuckerberg to hurry up with this metaverse. So when we get up in there, I'm just gonna meet you in the metaverse. I'm gonna virtually slap you. I'm gonna be virtually fighting you. Mike Zuckerberg, what? The metaverse. They are.
Is that a new Marvel movie?
No, boo. This is about to be real life. Like, Facebook changed its name from Facebook, the company, to Meta because they're developing a metaverse, which is similar to like going into virtuality where you can see and feel. So any of these TV shows where you're seeing people go into these virtual reality worlds, that's what they're working on developing right now.
So I feel like this is a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get
distracted. Oh, yes, lovely nails and lashes.
Hey, Lundy, but I don't understand what that means. Like, can I scratch and sniff now food and everything else? Oh, it's like Black Mirror? Oh, I don't want that.
Yes,
no.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. But it's scary. Black Mirror.
It is. Did y'all not see that episode of Black Mirror? Like there was one episode specifically with the two like best friends. The episode was like.
That's all you have to say. Black Mirror. That's the only episode that people got.
Okay. I was like, ooh, melanated people. I can't. But so not to get completely distracted, y'all. Thanks for being in the comments. Come on, beauty besties in the room. Jeremy, you're gonna have to create a term for your people.
Right. Okay.
And it can't be J Rich anything, just as a side note.
My beautiful best friends. Okay.
See, that's how you get canceled. Now, do you feel, because I love the way that they rallied around Crystal to support her as she was going through her telling her truth and her journey about the trolling and her father's experience. Do you feel like they rallied differently around her though than they showed up and rallied around Garcelle? Because keep in mind, right? We've already heard on the reunion that don't bring race into it as it related to Garcelle. We know that when Garcelle was filming, Black Lives Matter, a lot of things that was happening in the Black community. And I'm not saying one struggle outweighs the other,
right.
But I'm just saying, do you feel like their responses were different between Crystal and Garcelle?
I think because they had some experience understanding Garcelle's issues, they are now becoming more open and aware of other people's journeys. And so when they heard that, I do think because their experience with Garcelle, they were able to receive hers a little bit more.
Well, Seddon did offer up a formal apology afterwards as well.
That was all a PR, I think. And so, that and so, one of the things though, they move into talking to Erica about the things, and Dorit and Cal irked me to no end because they try to backtrack all these statements and I'm like, oh, we don't mean this. We believe you. We support you. When Dorit especially was like all against her, and in her face, they continue to still be like, oh,
they had the meeting of
this. No, we support you. And I'm just like, girl, what?
They had, although that was the reason why they called that entire meeting excluding Erica Jane, because it was Sutton and Dorit leading the charge. And They got to that table and Dorit was on mum to none. And they left Sutton at the firing range. Then, what'd you say? By herself. And then you have Kyle that continuously talks in circles like this about, Erica Jane. And it's unfortunate. It's deceitful. But here's the thing. Do we really put it past the girls?
No, but see, but look, that's why I'm glad Sutton always stands up and she says what she means what she says, and she's just like, look, no, this is, she says whatever she needs to say. She's not gonna backtrack it. She doesn't care how she feels, and so does Garcelle, I think, as well too. Yes.
Hi, Jeremy. I have a comment for the room.
Okay.
And I have a comment for you too.
Okay.
And we have to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I don't know if you heard, honey. But did you hear that Dorit got robbed like this week?
Oh, that was so sad. Oh my God. What?
So for those that don't know, Dorit had an intruder in her home that allegedly broke into her bedroom at gunpoint, and she pleaded with the intruder not to hurt her or her children because she was a mother and she was home and PK wasn't in the house. It's absolutely horrible. I have many, many questions. One, how is it all these celebrities are being attacked, either robbed or at least getting these home invasions? First of all, she lives behind a gate. What Spider-Man is climbing these walls, breaking into these celebrities' homes? The second piece is, how did this intruder automatically know which one was Dorit's bedroom? I'm not saying that it didn't happen, y'all. I'm not. But a part of me is playing devil advocate here. And it happened the day before they were going to start filming for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So now Dorit has a storyline. And
no.
Are you disagreeing with me?
Yes.
Okay, and that's fine. That's why we're two different people. So the comment goes to the people watching. Am I wrong for thinking this way? Not that I don't believe her, and thank God she's okay, because it blew my. Excuse you? What you mumbling over there?
Yes. I'm just listening.
I asked you a question. There's a question on the table. What are you mumbling over there?
I am listening to you. She allegedly got robbed.
But here's the thing. I mean, yes, but they didn't catch the person. So you're not going to make me seem like the a-hole today. But I'm just saying.
Listen, that's your opinion. And so, just like everybody's been having an opinion about Erica and her situation, you have an opinion about Dorit. And so, all these opinions, Andy is talking to Erica about this, and he's just like, listen, one of the big you like the transition, right? I just move on to the next thing.
Jeremy, you doing your job today. Jeremy is trying to keep me on track, and I wanted to talk about it. And Jeremy's like, we're going back to what we need to talk about today.
Yes, you slide on through up in there.
I don't diminish my existence, Jeremy, okay?
You matter.
Beloved, I don't feel seen, but go ahead.
Okay, right. Well, you don't feel seen. These victims don't feel seen because they're not getting their money yet. And Erica refuses to acknowledge this, even though she claims she has. And Andy's like, well, no, you actually have not ever really said this. And, she's in a roundabout way was like, well, if, this, I want these people to be made whole. And, Andy's like, one of the real problems that people are having with you right now is that you are coming across as if you are the victim. And
absolutely. And tone deaf, like Garcelle said.
Very much tone deaf. Like, if I am accused of stealing all this money from all these victims and I'm on Instagram posting my lavish life, then that's a problem. If I'm getting on these private jets, if I'm just like, fuck what you say, I don't care. Oh, you're so silly to, y'all are so gullible. It comes across that you don't give a, she already said how many F's does she give? Zero. None. Right. So Andy is trying to get
it. Garcelle shook her head like she didn't believe her. And at the end of the day, it's one, and I get it. And she's really drilling down. She's trying to tell us in so many words and explicitly, there's only so much I can say. And the things that I have said already, I probably already screwed myself. And so I think, she can only answer things so many different ways. And, again, I only have my degree from Law and Order, SVU, Criminal Intent, and Major Crimes. But I do believe that Erica is trying to be as truthful as possible. However,
No, I don't think she's trying to be truthful as possible at all. I think she's trying to be misleading at every turn as she can. And that's the problem, right? There's a difference. If I'm trying to be truthful and feel sorry, but I can only say certain things, it comes across very differently. She does come across, like Garcelle said, like, I think she didn't really know about the situation, but I think also she was enjoying the lifestyle that she was able to just look the other way. Like, I don't know what's going on over there. And she legitimately probably didn't know what was going on over there, but something ain't right in the kitchen and she ain't going in there to figure out what's going on.
But when you're living high, as the old people would say, high off the hog, and you smell a little smoke, you ignore it for as long as you can, honey. You see those challenges with the red flags going around.
Listen, I understand, sis. I do 100% understand. My response would have probably been, you know what? I felt something was off. I went to my husband. He wasn't really, communicative about it, but I trusted him enough to believe that if he said it was under control, it was under control. And I can't believe that I fell for these lies. But the problem is she wants to also still defend Tom. So it doesn't work by defending him and yourself or just yourself. Then you're going to come across like this.
So do you think she should be throwing him over the railing to be the sacrificial lamb here at any means necessary?
I think if she knows that at this point, she does know a lot of information that she's saying that she doesn't know. And I think if she understands the gravity of what he's done, then she needs to be like, listen, I did not know about this. This is not okay. I was living my life. I was loving my life.
She didn't know about it though.
No, but then the thing about it is she still tries to cover for him. She gives these stories about all of this stuff that was happening, that was going on with him.
It's snowing in California.
Snowing in California. Like, where, sis? Like, even Kyle was like, I ain't gonna react to this too heavily on camera, but I'm completely confused. And I understand why Mauricio and PK was laughing like they did. That was the funniest scene.
That was a good laugh, though. They were like, it flipped 3 times. He rolled out unconscious for 12 hours, and he was saved by the stepson, while it was snowing, and then he flipped and did a double dog turn, and like it was really intense.
Oh, save his ankle, not his brain.
Save his ankle, not his brain. Exactly. He has a medical degree. Right. Can we talk about the richness of Kathy Hilton as a friend of the show before we move on?
What about the richness of Kathy Hilton?
You so rich. Because they went around and Andy asked, like, what's the most lavish gift you bought your spouse? He's like, we don't do that. He bought me a seashell. I buy him sweaters. We lived at the Waldorf Astoria. End period.
That's why they got the money. They're not spending all their money on frivolous gifts that they're not going to even use.
Oh, the richness of it all just makes me so hot.
Listen, look, so most people be trying to buy their spouses, their partners, these extravagant, lavish gifts. She's like, no, he getting a sweater. We're going to be using our money to invest, to go on vacation, to do something else with it. Like, what does he need this for?
But when you have it all and you have access to it all, you really do kind of revert to like the smaller things in life. And don't get me wrong, she's not probably buying him a Gap sweater. It's probably like, it's like Tom Brown couture or something like that, even though he's not a Tom Brown looking man. But anyways, so next week we get the conclusion of the reunion and we see Erica have a little bit of a breakdown. So I love Just Buy My Wigs. Come on, Lovely Nails and Lashes. She said, let's just buy me my wig, honey. All the finest wigs. You get the Beyonce quality of wigs. Which, as a side note, being at FAM this weekend, I did not realize it's a whole epidemic of lace fronts. There is baby hairs and missing everywhere for people.
The city girls. Everywhere you go, that's like college campus and younger, or just out of college, is city girls.
What happened? When did these lace fronts take over? All I saw was a sea of baby hairs.
They are here to stay. The city girls are worldwide. It's an epidemic of city girls out here.
Baby, okay. People are making this coinage off of this baby hair. All right. Love and marriage. Yes.
Before we move to that, I just want to say it was very interesting to see that Erica didn't answer the question of did she know about this, and she didn't answer the question of has she heard rumors about Tom's situation. So
Frontos on Buena Noches.
Yes, Bella Noches. I know it's Buena,
Buenas Noches.
but it just reminded me of Bella Noche, okay? Because if
Well, maybe it's a type of
Bella Noches, where the hell can you go?
Maybe that's what they meant, because I'm like, oh yes, frontals at night, because you know I speak Spanglish. So I'm like,
okay.
Buenas Noches.
The nighttime. You gotta have your daytime, your Buenos Dias. Your Buenos Dias.
Buenas tardes.
Your
Yes, hasta mañana wig.
No, yes.
Your hasta luego wig. Frontos on hasta luego.
Them all of the wigs. If you do not have them, donde está?
What? If you don't go, oh, where is it? Yes. See, my Spanglish just kicked in. If you don't have your pronto, then where is it?
Yes, I was trying to say where can you go? But I don't even know.
She says, no, I meant Buenas, like Rap Freak, Young Money, new song. Oh, she says, you got me with the whole rap song. I don't even know.
And I'm like about to be 40, sis. So I don't know who that is.
You are? You know, I'm still in my early to mid late 30s. I didn't know you were so old, Jeremy.
It is what it is, you know. Like Michelle said.
I'm laughing so hard. I can't stop crying.
Okay,
all right.
Tell us something, okay? Because it was not the Bella. She probably like, what is Bella Noche? If she young Miami, I'm like, girl, it was a
God. So Buenas Noches to Beverly Hills Reunion Part 3, and Hola, Buenos Dias to Love and Marriage Huntsville, because you know it's all about the ghetto. What is it? The ghetto. The ghetto.
The ghetto.
The ghetto. It was the ghetto.
The ghetto.
Child, I am so confused on why Wanda J. Blige, Messy Wanda, continues to get invited plays. Because every time she shows up, she is like Miley Cyrus, a wrecking ball.
Yes, she came in like a wrecking ball. But listen, I thank them for it, like for the sake of cameras. Now, if this was a regular event, I would not want to her to be anywhere near around. But I think she just do this mostly for camera. She just know, like, this is a game to Miss Wanda. I mean, this is so funny. But you know, before we even,
is it really funny though? Is it?
I thought it was funny. And she be trying not to laugh. That's how you know it's a game to her. If you look at her face when she be talking to the people, she be having like a slight smile where you look like, you know, she's trying not to laugh.
You know, I can't sometimes get over her 1990s hairstyles.
Listen, she is giving you Baps realness
all day. And
all day.
But you know what made it comical? The fact that Miss Vanessa, Melody's mom, tried so hard to keep her composure, and like Tisha said, they all from the country. She was like, "Woman, please." Now you know it was almost like insert "be please" here, but she was like, "You're not about to pull me out of my character while these cameras are here." And so obviously, Wanda comes. She confronts Miss Vanessa. They go back and forth. She's saying Miss Vanessa is sleeping with married men. You know,
Miss Vanessa asked for it first. Well, first of all, the funniest part about this was as soon as Miss Wanda come over here, Martell mom was like,
I got to go.
I'm about to run to my destiny. I'm about to go.
I gotta go work. In the words of Miss,
what time it was.
I gotta go work. Y'all talk to y'all later, y'all. Yes.
She knew exactly what time it was, and then, but you know, Miss Vanessa was just like got it started when she mentioned Wanda's husband and boyfriend, and that's when Wanda clapped back at her. Well, when you dating a married man? Because if she would not have said that, Miss Wanda probably would not have even gone there. So, but she
Wanda picked the fight anyways, because Wanda should not even stuck her toes in the business of, you know, trying to tell Vanessa, I was trying to tell them to get back together, and Vanessa hears everything. So therefore, I don't know her like that. So let me be Southern and respectable. Miss Vanessa hears everything from Melody, right? So at this point, she's like, all right, let me see if I can defend my daughter. But unfortunately, Miss Vanessa does not have the mental stamina and or the breath of reeds to keep up with country ghetto Miss Wanda, okay?
She got Miss Wanda real good. She said, you know, why don't you worry about Marcel and Tisha because they have your little hands and your little brain full. Miss Wanda didn't know what to say.
She didn't. She didn't.
I mean, I was just like, oh my God.
Because Martell is tired of, so the innocent spectator said, why did Martell have to bring his mom in to defend him? Because Martell is tired of defending himself, always, constantly, all day, angry, causing a whole distraction and a disruption. And Martell knew no one was going to get about it and rowdy because of it was his mama. So there's a level. What?
First of all, I think we're gonna review the show backwards. B,
I know, sorry guys.
B, she needs to stop and like she keeps validating his inexcusable behavior.
I agree.
You had a baby and like what? No, that's a whole family that he tore apart. And yes, Miss whatever your name is, what if Martell is in the wrong? Hold him accountable, make him a better
Miss Marlene.
Marlene, that lady name. No, that is country. That is country. But you know, you make it. What is in your cup? Let me drink my strength, cause
it's water. But why'd you say like that though? Marlene's that lady name.
I mean, I ain't know, but that I mean, she give me Marlene. She give me Marlene. She give me a Willie Mae. She give me
Willie Mae.
She give me like Bertha. She give me Claudine.
She doesn't give you Bertha. She gives you a Clarice. She gives you Clarice, Marlene, and she kind of gives you a little bit of Wanda too. She looks like she could be a Wanda. Okay.
Yes, but you know, like if you hold people accountable, that just makes them better. But if you excuse that behavior, then they never grow. They stay where they are, and that's how he's going to be. Because she never wants to. She hold his feet to the fire in any of these situations. She's just like, well, it's okay. People make mistakes. And while that is true, people do make mistakes. We also need to be held accountable for our mistakes so that we can be better in the future.
So here's where I agree. On camera, she gives him a pass each and every time, and it looks like she validates his relationships and his behavior. What I suspect, and you know, I don't know this lady from the can of paint, is that off camera, she probably digs into his ass.
No.
And I say that because she's all about protecting Martell's image. But she also looks like a woman who does not take a lot of ish, because it does look, and again, I don't know this woman, but it looks like she's had, you know, some things happen to her in her life at the hands of men as well. And I feel like she probably takes her experience with men and she probably gets into him off camera, but she's not going to disrespect him on camera.
No, that's not it. Because if that were the case, Martell would not be who Martell is. Martell is a direct product of his mother treating him how she's treating him, coddling him, excusing bad behavior, continuing to do that to the fact where he found a woman like Melody that was willing to excuse his bad behavior for the sake of image and perception. And that's what it was. Like,
fair. I won't even argue with you on that. You might actually be right today, Jeremy McShane.
Yes. But anyways, you know, speaking of which,
keep it moving, Jamala. Keep it moving.
Yes, Joe Mala. Y'all see that? Don't y'all like that? Y'all know what it stands for? Joe and Kamala. Yes.
We knew that, Jeremy.
Oh, did y'all know that or not? Let me know in the comments. Did y'all know? I do. If you're in Virginia, tomorrow's election day. Get your butts to the poll ASAP.
What are we voting on tomorrow in Virginia, by the way?
The big ticket item is the governor. And so it's apparently a very close race. You know, we've had a Democratic governor, and so now we could potentially have a Republican governor. It's a very tight race, but let's get out there and vote, guys.
Well, hopefully, it sounds like you'll end up having a spinoff if the race is so close.
A spinoff, a runoff. It's all right, boo. It's not a spinoff.
That's not correct.
A spinoff? No, boo. That's what Portia's getting from the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay. What do they call it?
They call it a runoff.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of running, and that wasn't even intentional, but that's the great segue. Speaking of running, you want to talk about this whole destiny race?
Let's talk about it. I mean, who was it just for the cast? Because that's all that was there at the Destiny
It was
race.
giving me very exact. Didn't it feel like Nini's race around her neighborhood? Like what was that, season 2 in the high heels?
Right. Yes.
Period. But I like the concept running to your destiny. But I was confused on how the destiny got there. So like, did they write on the little stake? Then they walked to the park, stuck it in the ground. Then they started back at the finish line and then ran towards it.
Real confused about
I
that.
was confused. I was like, shouldn't they be running with this and then get to the finish line and stake it into the ground? How did it work?
My conclusion was that it was a circle that they did for the time. And so instead of a direct path, so that they were mostly near the finish line anyways. And then they did a circle. Because I was like, how are they putting this there? And then they about to run.
But they put the stake in, then ran to it. So that's why I was confused.
It's a circle. So they put it here. They start here and they end up there by running in the circle.
But you saw that they crossed the civil rights bridge, or it looked like a whole civil rights type of bridge. That they crossed over that to get to the stakes in.
See, listen, the circle was only 2 miles. The 5K is 2.5 miles. So the bridge was a half a mile. They had to get across. So they walked the half a mile. Okay. Who knows? But yeah, I was confused on that part. But you know, go ahead, boo. Go ahead.
Because this episode was a little light for me. So let's just wrap this up and talk about the therapy session and the toxic masculinity and the what's the other word for it? Like this lack of these role confinements. Like they did Maurice put together.
It's called a spinoff. That's what it's called. A spinoff. That's the word for it.
What, them having this therapy session?
Yeah, you asked me what it was called. What's the word for it? Spinoff.
No, I'm talking about the fact that Martel and Marceau. Marceau didn't even want.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
You got me confused.
Right. Confusion is the name of the episode tonight.
Listen, okay, and I promise you, I'm only drinking water. So no, seriously, it was misogynistic was the word I was looking for. Thanks, Jeremy. But misogynistic, narcissistic, toxic masculinity, this whole ideal of what the role of a woman is versus seeking help in therapy. And Maurice did a solid. He said, I'm gonna bring my brothers together, Martel and Marceau, and we're going to talk to Dr. Francis. Did y'all see how they left out Lewis, right? But nonetheless, Marceau doesn't even show up. It then had to nerve to say that Dr. Francis is inclined to listen to his wife or people who think like a woman. How does that work? This is a whole medical professional. How is that a thing, Marceau?
And right, how are men supposed to think differently than women when we are connecting in a relationship, right? Like communication is communication. It's not a man communication and a woman communication. We're communicating and we're learning how to be better communicators. And that's the whole point of the situation. The only thing that I got from the Destiny run is how egotistical Marceau is. Didn't let Martel.
Didn't let a child win. Right. He's so daggone toxic. I can't even take him, huh?
I mean, you know what? Listen, I ain't mad at that because these kids got to know there ain't nobody giving you nothing. You want to win, you put in the hard work to do it. No.
Okay, Jeremy, you teaching lessons over there, Uncle Jeremy?
I'm just letting you know. You want to win? I'm just saying, listen, I can be Uncle Jeremy. I've been uncle, I've been daddy, you know, whatever you want to call me.
Here we go. Keep going, Uncle Jeremy.
Well, you know, I do think that Dr. Francis, the session was really great. It was really powerful.
The session was great.
I do think all of these sessions, if it's not helping the people directly, it's helping the people watching because so many people are learning so many gems from all these shows where people are going to therapy.
Yes.
But, you know, I do think Maurice, you know, he was talking about the situation and she said, let the boy win. And so
he's still leaning in, Mr. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, listen, I was reading, but listen, I'm on it today. The only reason I saw over innocent spectators last comment because she didn't use no punctuation. So I was
what you're not gonna do is come for my beauty bestie.
A run-on sentence. So
we
like,
real quick in these chats. You're not about to just come for my beauty bestie. Keep going.
You know I love her. And so, that's why I got caught up. But anyway, Maurice wanted to blame Kimmy for the stress, part of the stress in his life. And Dr. Francis was like, no, basically you have two wives. You have the work life, and where you're dedicating all your energy and time into this work and this ideal that you're trying to get to, that you may or may not ever get to. And then B, you have your actual person, wife, there, and their ideas are competing against one another that you have set up. And so the stress is really something you created there, and you need to figure out how to find that balance. He said, please don't let you being so consumed with trying to be this entrepreneur that you miss out on what's important.
I agree. I think there was so many lessons, even like as an entrepreneur myself, it's so easy for us to get caught up in wanting to succeed that we totally neglect other areas of our lives. And I thought that was really, really powerful as well. I like Dr. Francis. I think he dropped some really great jewels, and he tries to hold everybody accountable fairly. And on that note, can we move on over to Potomac?
We can, but the one quick note I just want to say is Martell mom talking about he don't need to go to therapy, be your own therapist. I was like, girl.
Yeah. And there you have the reason why Martell is the way he is.
And his takeaway from that was, Melody needs to hear this. No, what did you need to hear? Why don't we focus on what you need to hear? But let's
trend. Because you got work to do, right?
Whole work to do. But the finale of Real Housewives of Potomac aired last night.
It didn't really feel like much of a finale to me, honestly. Outside of the opulence of Karen's vow renewal, which I thought was really beautiful, even though that staircase going up to the bar was a little bit of a setup.
It was.
Especially if you've been drinking.
To hit me with the bull. The whole scheme.
You set me up to go up and down these stairs while I'm drinking and eating light appetizers before this whole shindig starts. Like, I just knew somebody was going down, and I was hoping it was not Giselle. By the way, her dress was plain, but Giselle actually looked really pretty last night.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I said Giselle looked really pretty. Karen's dress was gorgeous. That cake looked so pretty.
Karen's dress was gorgeous. Karen looked gorgeous. Karen's makeup was gorgeous. Her hair was gorgeous. The dress was gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
They dusted off Macy Gray to sing on last night's episode.
And say goodbye and not joke.
and gave us her new single, even though it sounded like something she already released. And is it just me? But does anybody ever really understand what Macy Gray is saying live and in person?
Sound like she was lost in the sauce. They did not even know that was her. They was like, that Macy Gray over there? That's Macy. Oh, that is Macy Gray.
Innocent Spec Chatter says, it looks like Martell's mama drinks Colt 45. But I'm going to tell you who else looked like they drink a Colt 45 before they got on stage to sing. Macy Gray.
Yes, Macy. Maybe the mini steps was symbolic of 25. See, now listen, now that is good.
They thought
they should have. That would have been a great excuse. Be like, we are walking upwards to our destiny. 25 steps. Yes, girl, they needed you.
Here's 25 more.
Here's the 25 more. We got 50 steps.
By the time they climbed those 50 steps, they would have been at the pearly gates.
The whole pearly gates, okay?
Okay, talking about I just want to touch the hem of the garment of the Savior.
Can you explain to me, though, why Wendy wore this dress that she couldn't even sit down in?
She was laying sideways in the back seat. What got me? I'm going to tell you what got me was their Black African love. When Macy was singing, when they were talking about the vow renewal, Eddie kissed her on the shoulder. But what I thought was hilarious is they're dancing, and Eddie's like, yes, titties.
He loved happiness. I was like, yes.
Did you just yell yes, titties multiple times on a dance floor?
He loved his wife. He loved everything about her. And
yes, titties.
And that's Belle is so does not like Wendy, and that's why Robin do not like Wendy either, because they see that she is genuinely has somebody that loves her. She has a beautiful family. They were showing her little daughter. I was like, oh, so
no.
But and Ashley was looking like she was going to a 20s flapper event, so I didn't understand what she was giving in this dress. That was a little weird. Ascala came through, like she came through always. Always. She's effortlessly beautiful to me.
Is.
Like
gorgeous.
She's good, and it looks like she tried. It looks like it was just so simple for her to do.
It was. And I'm gonna tell you something. This episode is the most FaceTime I've seen of Juan all season.
Right, but then Robin had the nerve to ask Michael if he coming around the group. Sis, direct that next bill to you and be like, "Are you coming in the group?" Because your man ain't been to the group the whole season.
Not one time. And even in this episode, so what I know for sure, Jeremy McShan, let me grab my water.
Oh, okay.
What I know for sure is Juan does not like the potential of looking like an absent father, an absent partner, even though he's absent, and or an a-hole. Because the simple conversation that they had at her new warehouse, and she brought up the fact that, did you change a diaper? Like, I just want equity. She was literally saying, all I want is, if we're going to have another kid, it's equity in the relationship and raising the kid. And Juan flies off the handle. He takes his mic off. He leaves. He has a whole diva moment and walks out because he's like, "You're not going to do that to me."
And something like that. He called her stupid, and he was like,
"Yes."
You know why her arm was still there? I was like, this is. See, the thing about it is, like, so Innocent Spectator says that Robin was all wrong, acting like Juan was a deadbeat dad, but at some point he was. That it is what it is. They both acknowledged for a time in their relationship he was not at the house. He wasn't living there. He was nowhere to be found. He was out doing him, and that's why she's just like, look, it is what it is. It would be like he makes himself look like a deadbeat person by running from it. You can so easily be like, you know what? That was messed up of me. And, you know, I'm so happy I've grown from that. We're in such better place and we're going to move forward with love. This baby's going to feel love. You're not going to feel all like you have the burden. And whether or not that was the case or not, that's how she feels. So you need to validate how she feels and be like, hey, you're not going to feel like that because I'm going to contribute as well.
Yes and no. So this comment right here says he was providing in a manner that she accepted, I think is what might be meant here. But just because you provide me financially with the roof over our heads and this access does not necessarily mean that you can be absent when you need to be present. Granted, he was an athlete. He's going to be on the road. But the moments that you're home, like, you know what I admire the most? And I know we're running a little bit long today, but it's just so much goodness to talk about. What I admire the most is the relationship between Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor, from what I can see from the cameras. Because when Iman is home, he's present with the girls. He's holding them. He's changing diapers. He's engaged. And what Robin is simply saying is, we were all different because we were younger, but I just need you to validate because I need to have a little bit of a storyline before the season ends. And I'm letting you know. I mean, am I wrong?
I think so. I mean, because these conversations, if they are serious about having another baby, then these are conversations you have to have because it's unresolved.
Absolutely.
And from what happened earlier, whether it's what actually happened or how she feels about it, it's unresolved. And we cannot bring another in there with this in this situation. And one has to understand it is what it is, sir. You messed up in a variety of different areas, just like she's been honest about the ways in which she messed up in a relationship. We weren't judging her for that. We appreciated the honesty that she was able to have, the self-awareness. No, these are the areas. And you need to do the same. To me, you're giving a little bit now like Marcel Martel vibes of like the non-accountability.
I agree. I totally agree. And so it's interesting to see Juan like remove himself out of the situation when he feels like it's getting hot. But what is also kind of interesting, I think Juan gets a kick out of, is this bromance between him and Michael Darby.
That's a mess. That is a whole mess.
Why, Jeremy? You're not a part of this. You don't want to be a part of this bromance?
One, not part of the bromance. One thing is hilarious that Michael has this infatuation with him and he plays into it. It's pure comedy for him. I do appreciate that he did try to bring Michael and Chris together, which, you know, what I appreciate about Chris is he does always, when possible, try to take the high road, whether it's with Candace, Ashley, Michael. And you have to commend people like that. But Michael didn't want to take the high road. He wants to be Wanda. He's the Wanda of the show.
Well, here's the thing. I don't necessarily agree on how Candace responded to the situation by walking away saying this is the whitest form of privilege ever and like walking away. But I do agree that, you know, there's underlying truth there that Candace highlighted, that right now in this moment, my husband who's white is trying to make amends, and you're acting like a Michael or a Kevin or a Karen because it's still not good enough for you, and you want more outside of what Chris is offering. Like Chris offered a handshake and said, I'm trying to apologize. And Michael, you're still trying to tell somebody how to apologize to you. And Chris was sincere. That's a level of privilege, because most of us, nor anybody, would have been able to say, I want your apology, and your apology better come to me this way. Otherwise, I'm not accepting it.
I mean, we all are able to say that, right? I mean, there's been times where people, I feel like, have wronged me and they've just said sorry, and I didn't feel like it was genuine, and I don't accept that. No,
That's
because
different,
no, you need, what are you sorry? And I've told people, what are you sorry for? What did you do? You need to go through these steps with me. But I do think Michael is not trying to squash it. However, it behooves me to understand why Candace keeps throwing these comments about the white husband, the slave driver. I'm like, sis, you are married to a white man. So if Michael is a slave driver, what is Chris?
What is your relationship, right?
Did Harriet coming to pick you up as soon as she scoop up Ashley? So you are the next farm, okay, sis? So
listen,
what's happening?
Listen, I mean, I agree what you're saying. Everybody is allowed to want to receive an apology. So I'm going to clarify what I meant, right? I think Chris is coming from a place of, we only have issues really because of our wives, right? And so let's basically not allow our wives' issues to impact us having issues as men, right? Because we should be above this, because this show is set up for them to have issues. We sit on the sidelines and be protectors from afar and interject when we need to be. So with that being said, yes, we got into it last time I saw you. I'm willing to squash it and move on. Like, and he's like, well, I don't like the, you know, I can't move on because of the way such and such treats my wife. It's the wives doing it. Chris isn't jumping in. Chris isn't leaving his culinary job to say something about, you know, Ashley.
You know, so one thing I was so confused about on our exit was, I thought we were going to see the whole Telfar like ad and all of that. Remember, that was a whole thing with the housewives filming, you know, doing the ad for him in the bags and stuff.
No, when did that happen?
That was before the season even came on. That was their whole like, Housewives is coming, and it was like all of them, and Giselle was in her boot.
I never, you know, I love a good Telfar sugar.
What?
I never.
That was I'm gonna find it and send it to you.
You can find it and send it to me.
The series came out when they were like, it was getting ready to come back. They released it. This was released, and it was all of them because Giselle was in the back because she had the boot on, and you know, like, it was a whole thing.
I never saw it, and I love it.
Finale.
Huh?
I thought that was gonna be the finale because I'm like, oh yeah, this is great.
Please send it to me because you know I love a good Telfar.
A girl, here's my Instagram. DM me and I'm gonna send it to you too. Okay.
Don't remember the Telfar ad. Exactly. And y'all know, like I said, I love to go Telfar. I'm still waiting for my bags to show up, honey. Okay.
All right.
Now,
yeah.
On that note, okay. Sorry. One more thing, Jeremy.
I'm looking this up while you doing it.
Candace talks reckless.
Really, girl? She said maybe that was just in Virginia.
I love my BD besties. So yeah, Candace talks reckless to Chris. The fact that she says she cursed him and said something F like this, and I'm walking away. Like, sis, you have been talking about slave driver and everything else, but you talk reckless to your husband on camera, and Chris doesn't always. I know Chris wants to respond, and Chris knows he wants to, but I feel like Chris can't because he's probably fearful of backlash.
Forget that, because if she keeps acting in this way, in her Dorothy ways, she's gonna be divorced. Chris ain't got time for it.
You know, they say the apple don't fall far from the tree, child.
It don't.
And on that note, you ready, Jeremy?
Who loves you?
I said, were you ready? I didn't say do it.
Oh, well, I was practicing for
your
Do you love me? Well, I do.
Ah,
That's my exit for J Rich Beauty.
see, I mean, you can't even act right. Oh my God. Guys, pray for Jeremy. And on that note, guys, we got to go. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video if you like, and leave us a comment. Most importantly, check the notifications and make sure they're turned on. Thank you for spending the last 50 minutes with us talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Beverly Hills, and Love and Marriage Huntsville, because you know I love you for it. And on that note, who loves you? I do. See you next week. Bye, guys.